I never believed in horror stories that start with, "I was home alone." It always sounded lazy, predictable. But now, I understand why so many of them begin that way. Because when you're alone, every sound has a place. And when a sound doesn't belong anywhere, it owns your mind. That night, I was house-sitting for my parents. Suburban home, quiet neighborhood, the kind of place where nothing ever happens. It was just after 10 p.m., rain tapping softly against the windows, TV humming in the background. Normal. I was halfway through reheating leftovers when I heard it. Tap, tap, tap. Not loud, not urgent, just deliberate. I froze, fork hovering in midair. The sound was coming from outside, from the backyard. I told myself it was a tree branch, maybe a loose fence panel. Still, I walked to the sliding glass door and pulled the curtain aside. The yard was empty. No movement, no wind, just darkness. The tapping stopped the moment I looked out. That should have been the end of it. It wasn't. I went back to the couch, turned the TV volume up slightly. 10 minutes passed. Then, tap, tap, tap. This time closer. Not the backyard. The basement door. My stomach tightened. The basement was unfinished. Concrete walls. One bare bulb. Old storage boxes and junk no one wanted. I hated that basement. Always had. The tapping wasn't random anymore. It had rhythm. 3 taps. A pause. Then 3 more. Like someone thinking. Like someone waiting. I muted the TV. Silence. Then, scratch. Soft. Slow. Right behind the basement door. I whispered hello. No response. I stood there, staring at the door like it might blink. Then the scratching stopped. Again. I told myself I was tired. That fear was making something out of nothing. But I couldn't shake the feeling that if I opened that door, something would be waiting for me on the other side. So I didn't. I locked it. Around midnight, I decided to go to bed. Bad idea. As I turned off the lights downstairs, I heard footsteps. Not heavy. Careful. Above me. On the second floor. My heart slammed into my ribs. I stood in the dark, holding my breath. Then, a floorboard creaked. Directly over my head, someone was walking through the house. Slowly, testing each step. I grabbed my phone and locked myself in the bathroom. I called 911 with shaking hands. I whispered everything. The sounds, the basement, the footsteps. The dispatcher stayed calm. "Officers are on the way," she said. "Stay where you are." That's when I heard the basement door unlock. A soft click. From downstairs. I almost dropped my phone. Then came the smell. Damp. Rotten. Like wet dirt and old metal. It drifted up through the vents. The footsteps stopped. Silence stretched so long my ears rang. Then, a shadow passed under the bathroom door. I covered my mouth to keep from screaming. The handle turned. Once. Twice. Then stopped. The dispatcher kept talking, but I couldn't hear her anymore. All I could hear was breathing. Right outside the door. Not rushed. Not panicked. Patient. Like it knew I wasn't going anywhere. Suddenly, sirens. Blue and red lights flashed through the window. The breathing stopped. Footsteps ran. Fast. Chaotic. Doors slammed. I screamed into the phone. Police burst through the house moments later. They searched everything. Every room. Every closet. The basement. They found the basement window open. Mud on the floor. Handprints on the wall. But no one there. No fingerprints. No weapon. No explanation. They said the intruder must have fled when they arrived. Said I was lucky. The house felt wrong after that. Empty, but not really. The officers left around 2 a.m. I didn't sleep. Morning came too slowly. When sunlight finally hit the basement steps, I noticed something new. Scratches. On the inside of the basement door. From the house side. Deep. Intentional. Like someone had been trapped inside. Or trying to get back in. The case was never solved. No suspects. No neighbors saw anything. My parents sold the house 6 months later. They never asked why I refused to stay there again. I still hear tapping sometimes. At night. 3 taps. A pause. Then 3 more. And every time, I wonder, did they ever really leave? Or did they just learn how to be quieter?